If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. That is from the Gospel of Thomas, which is an extra canonical gospel, which was found in Egypt in December of 1945. Go Google Gospel of Thomas and look into that yourself. I want to repeat that. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Welcome to the Arrogant Witch YouTube show. I am Witch Naima, and my duty here on earth is to help magical melanin witches come out of hiding and into full power so they can do the work that they came to earth to do, be fulfilled, and be paid well doing it. I'm here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you forget and you like to be reminded, I get a ping on your phone when I go live every Monday, and you're not already a subscriber, click the subscribe, and then there's that notification bell right there with the subscribe button, so you can be like get a ping on your phone when I go live. I have been running ads pretty continuously for the last couple months. So for those of you who may be here for the very first time, or will be watching the replay, most people watch as a replay. The environment here that I offer is for witches who seek true whole power within themselves. I know YouTube is a cesspool of large varieties of knowledge and information and right, all over the place. And a lot of it here is for the kind of power that most people do not want, okay? That the average spiritual Black girl or guy does not want, that the average human being does not want. And so the requirements of you to actually be the power that I speak of, that I point to, and all that I share here is for full power, which when you are in full power, you are an anomaly here on earth. You are unlike most people here on earth. You are, even beyond a Black sheep, right? And so I share that so you can know that use your time wisely, use your time wisely. So before I get into the topic, which today the topic is successfully navigating the fear of being killed as a magical melanin witch who's coming into full power and who is, as I just shared here, bringing forth that which is within you, okay? And how do you navigate that fear when that psychic terror comes, like out the blue, like you feel this paralyzing thing that you've never felt before, right? That's a nuanced thing that only if you are truly bringing forth your original work, if you are truly bringing forth what's in your DNA, if you are truly bringing forth your unique genius, you will naturally be triggered in that kind of a way. Naturally be triggered in that kind of way. This is how that fine discernment between those who have vast amounts of knowledge that they've gathered through books and all the ancient texts, and they can tell you verbatim what's on the walls in different structures in Egypt. They can take you back before Atlantis and Sumeria. I mean, they can, oh my God, they can give you vast amounts of knowledge that exist. And yet, to be walking knowledge, is an entirely radically different thing. So we're not going to argue about that. That just is. So doors to the arrogant witch community closed today. So, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do. If you're not already on the email list, within an hour after this video is over, there will be a link beneath this video for you to send your email. Basically, I mean, doors close at midnight, so if you want to be there, you'll figure that out. I think that's the only announcement. So I'm going to go back to what I opened with, and then I have a question. This is serious business, BB. Okay. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. That's from the Gospel of Thomas. My question to you is, what if what you have to bring forth triggers fear of being killed? What if what you have to bring forth does not seem to fit anywhere here on planet Earth, and yet it demands to come out through you? Okay, so you see where we're going. What if what is within you requires that you be something that will completely take you out of the way that you live your life now? The man you're with, the city that you live in, the way that you go about your days. What if what is within you literally demands? And when I say demands, I mean you cannot sleep well at night. Like, this is a fine discernment. And one of the doors that you and I must walk through, I don't must, but oftentimes we'll walk through, is being tricked by people who have lots of knowledge, because they appear to be these bright, knowledgeable beings, because they are bright, knowledgeable beings, right? But today, in today's show, I'm talking about that fine distinction that you only know if you know. And you know it because you are it. You are it. Without trying, without studying, you could have been a gangster your whole damn life. Ain't never picked up a spiritual text ever in your life. And boom, that fine distinction that you are walking knowledge. So what is walk? What is that? What am I talking about? What does this look like? At the end of, I think it was 2019, it came into my awareness that there is a such thing as masters who are walking around planet Earth. Now, in the spiritual community, a master is somebody who typically they're much older. Typically they've studied greatly, like they've been through all the schools. Oh my God, the ones who I described earlier in today's show, they just got it all. Like they will debate you from, oh my God, they got it. Okay. But there are masters walking planet Earth who do not read spiritual text. They don't even know it like that. They may have read it, they may have not. They know things that are not in books, that you're not going to find in a book. You're not going to find it in text. They have answers to things that, and not like you know, like so many texts answers so many questions. But with what is asking to be brought forth on planet Earth now is new. So if it's new, you're not going to find it in a book. And so it's so radical and so not of this world. It's just not human. It's not socially acceptable to know things that aren't in books. Where when you get in front of the person who's actually available to hear, things start coming out of your mouth. And they're like, where did you get that from? Right? Masters know. And not because they read it in a book. They know it because they are it. Now, this clashes with the frequency of old Earth. Okay. Right now, we, you know, for those of you who are following your favorite astrologists, who are paying attention to numerology, who are like paying attention in that kind of a way, or you're just really tuned in, we see the clash going on right now between that which is dying and that which is being birthed, right? So at the end of 2019 is when this started coming through me, that there are masters on Earth who know things. They actually have the answers that we need. They're in hiding. And for us to get the intelligence, the creative intelligence that is not in a book, we can't go study it somewhere, that these people must come together and conjure power, the kind of power that can only be conjured together. And so I started doing videos sharing this awareness, like, and this was hella hard for me to do because it was, right, what? Masters? And then Black people, oh, so I'm not a slave, like that. Like, it was so hard for me to come, because all I had was this awareness and this instruction to bring it forth. That's all I had. There was no evidence. There was no like mentor who was encouraging me to bring this intelligence to the marketplace. It was just that if you bring forth what is within you, it will save you. And if you do not bring forth what is within you, it will destroy you. So in 2019, if you watched show like 2 weeks or so ago, I was talking about the fact that in the summer of 2019, I was in fucking Bali, like seriously considering suicide. Like, I'm kind of done with Earth. Like, what else we gonna do here? I've enjoyed so much of the material success, dreams that I wanted, that I made real. I've loved, I've been loved, I've traveled, I've experienced so much of the polarities of being human, radical extreme joy, and grotesque filthy low, everything in between. I've lived so many lives. I'm not sure I want to deal with, like, I even did a Facebook post on this back then. Like, I'm not sure I want to deal with what I called at that time the devil and his concubines. That's what I named it, right? Like, and this was in me already to bring forth like power, intelligence, creativity. But I was like, I don't know, right? If you don't bring forth what is within you, it will destroy you. When I tell you I was in Bali, all of this was just, bro, I looked like a crackhead on the chest in Bali. And I have pictures. One of the videos that I did at the end of 2019, I saw the scars from just the rash that broke out. I actually got deported from Bali, like on some like wicked ass crazy shit that was like all the shit that starts happening when you don't bring forth. I got deported. I had to spend the night like in a corner by myself at the airport. You guys, I'm telling you, I was just like, I literally have a video. It's a private video on YouTube right now with me seriously contemplating suicide. Like, and like getting into fights in Bali, not physical fights, but just like bumping into people on purpose, just like stupid, violent dangerous shit. If you do not bring forth what is within you will destroy you. If you bring forth that which is within you, what is within you will save you. You think I just do this because I want to help people? I do this because I will fucking kill myself if I don't do it. Literally. Literally. So that's who I'm talking to. You. Not just your average spiritual Black girl who likes to clear her chakras and go meditate every now and then. And, I need to go calm myself down and go do my healing and go see my therapist and sit down with my feminine goddess circle. And come on, see? So when I talk about bringing forth that which, like the gospel, you think I just made this? I don't mean you. I mean, like, I'm talking to the unseen. Like, when you don't bring forth what is within you, it will destroy you. Right? This is one of the indicators that you are a master. So I started bringing this into, so fast forward, right? I ended up collapsing in the south of France, like August, something like that. I think 2019, collapsing. It's a whole other story. This is what I mean. This is exactly what the fuck happened. Okay. Ended up collapsing, was bedridden for 4 days, had to come back to the United States, do medical stuff. And it was in that low that it was like, okay, Naima, are you going to stay or are you going to go? Like the real final decision. Are you going to stay or are you going to go? And if you stay, what's going to be required of you? Like you already see what life is going to look like for you if you try to stay here and stay small and say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. You already know what it's going to look like. So you either going to come into the power and make the vow and give yourself over to this thing, or you can just forget about it. You're going to be miserable. This is the difference between highly knowledgeable, typical spiritual masters that people call, and those who are born, okay, born with. So there's no arguing. This is not a debate. This is not like, well, this is not a debate. This is, okay. So I made the decision, yes, okay, I'm going to stay and I'm going to come into the power. Now I'm saying this very easily now, but at the time it was like it was a conversation, there were negotiations, there was like all this with the unseen world. So I said, okay, I'm gonna stay. And literally, like within weeks of me agreeing to stay, and I had to go through a medical procedure and all this and all that, this knowledge came through of there are masters walking planet Earth who know things. They are born, they don't read things in books, and they're hiding and they're scared to come out because history, because of this psychic fear of being killed, because like all things, it just started flooding through, and it was like, this is what you are meant to bring forth. Bring it forth, bring it forth, bring it forth now. So you have, right, the people who are meant to be inside of Arrogant Witch, the people who are meant to come into what it is that's being offered here, are born with very distinct work to bring to the marketplace. We just have been in hiding, playing small, pretending to have forgotten for pretty much our entire lives, okay? And so there's such refinement with creating the ease of allowing what we know to come out of our mouths, first of all, allowing it to come out, then allowing it to come out on camera and owning it. I'm going to get to how you navigate fear. Owning it, respecting it, okay? I'm going to go deeper into this today. I'm doing a private training. It's a special communion and power training is happening privately today at 3:30 Eastern, okay? So we are lucky to be alive today, or we can bring this out. Yes, you will be an anomaly. bringing it out. Yes, it will be hard, but that is exactly why Arrogant Witch is here, to soften the hardness to a degree, to be the place where these really odd, hard, super niched conversation, like super niche, like navigating fear of being killed. We're the yeah, BB. So how do you successfully navigate the fear of being killed? Please like the video. For those of you who are here now, and if you're watching the replay and you're appreciating this so far, you liking it helps the algorithm. Did you know that? Like when you like the video, it lets YouTube know that people like this content. So then more people who can get value from this, it shows up. It's just amazing the way these social media, man, it is amazing. The research I've been doing, the way the intelligence of these things, increíble, as they say here in Spanish, increíble, or increíble. I'm learning Spanish, by the way. How do you successfully navigate the fear of being killed? Does anybody have any questions so far about what I've said about the psychic terror? That's pretty likely, like it's pretty likely that if you're birthing something that is unique to you, that that psychic terror is going to be triggered in your system because it's in the collective of those who were harmed. Okay, that is intense. The number of people who are, Christianity is alive and well today because of the murder. Like, Christianity is not alive and well because people just loved it and flocked to it. People were killed in droves to ensure that Christianity became what it is today. So, witches being killed, you just go read about that. Is there. That is in books, okay? And guess what? Men have been the main purveyors of books. And there's a lot that they have not allowed to be in books. So they allow that stuff to be in books to scare you. I'm not going to even get into the number of women who have been killed. Powerful women who have been killed on this earth, removed from history books, removed from text. And the story is told about how they were removed, told about how their death was not honored when it was traditional for powerful people to be honored in death. They let that stay in books so you can get the message that as a woman, you should be afraid of your power and don't you dare try to bring that shit out into the world. The fact that that's in a book is not an accident. That's why today you got men don't even know how to be with a woman. Don't know how to be with a woman, will marry her, fuck her, give her babies, live a life. Don't even know how to cherish her. Because it's in the collective psyche of everybody to not honor a woman. That is in the collective. So when you and your powerful ass with original work come to mind, you're going to bring this to the marketplace, you are triggering everybody psychically. You are psychically triggering everybody. So men start not liking you and they don't know why. Women start not liking you and they don't know. You ain't never even met them before. You just walking down the street, you just walk into a room, you start going higher in power and you walk into a room, people don't not like you and don't even know why. Psychically, you have triggered the part of them that is inherited the not supposed to like and to disrespect powerful women. You see why it's so hard. So it's hard for just the average woman. Right? The average spiritual Black girl, average spiritual white girl and guy are dealing with these fears of just, speaking, right? Speaking with their truth, right? That's like average spiritual stuff. Speaking my truth, right? That kind of a thing. Average folks is dealing with that. So then when you start bringing forth something that's in direct opposition to what is normal, like man is the head of the household. Okay, we can do that. But do you know the number of women, particularly African female pharaohs, African female leaders who led men into war, who were leaders, feminine, led men into war, was leaders over whole empires, leaders over towns and villages. But you ain't gonna find too much of that being praised and talked about. They want us to be workhorses and right, they want to suck off you and take from you, but don't be powerful though. Like, you can be a mom and a wife, you can be a modern day woman, right? If you fit that, then we praise you. Oh, you're a queen, you're a goddess. But if you are full power, ooh, baby, full power, kind of power that African female pharaohs were, the women who were killed, the women who were written out of history books, though, that kind of power. That's the kind of psychic fear that you feel and that you trigger in others when you start coming into full power with your original work, with the work that gets communicated to you in your dreams, the work that gets communicated to you when you are available to receive it. So how do you navigate? Let me look at these comments. Yep, that's another one. The witch womb is another one. Yep. Yeah, that's a real, I'm glad you said that, BB. People becoming possessive over you. When I started exploring my sexual power in different ways, like I've gone on different journeys to explore my sexual side. And I remember there's some of you guys may have heard of One Taste. Any of you guys ever heard of One Taste? They orgasmic meditation. And I used to go to their turn-on events in Miami. And it's a place where it was, I'm not sure if these still exist, but it was a place where any man or woman who was truly looking to be in full primal permission of self, it was a really good place to practice that. And so I just loved it. And I remember one night being there, and the men were just all over me. These were all white men. Oh my God. And I remember I did a post about it. I just came across this post like yesterday or day before yesterday that I posted on social media about all the things that these men were saying to me. Things like, and these are men who didn't know me, by the way, okay? I want to help you make money. I don't want you with any other man. When you were on that stage, everybody was on you and you were on everybody. Like literally, I screenshotted it. You don't take abuse well, do you? When you walked in, I thought you were a bitch on wheels. That's such a white thing to say, right? You were such a bitch on wheels. And if there was a tone of possessiveness in some of the comments, like, see, like, she's so powerful, I need to own her. Oh, because one of the men also said, I feel out of control when I'm around you and I don't like how that feels. I feel out of control when I'm around you and I don't like how that feels. That's one of the things I loved about the room, because the room was all about vulnerability and being radically honest, uncomfortably honest. I'm telling you, there's so much power in being radically honest. It's magnetic. Radical honesty is magnetic. And so I'm sharing that because you talked about the possessiveness, and you, here's the thing. As you come into full power, you can feel the energy of a thing without allowing it to be so in your life. Does that make sense? You can feel that a woman doesn't like you, but you don't have to take on any kind of demeanor that says, you know, I know you don't like me, stay with, like, you see me? You can just like let it be without taking on any kind of identity or behavior because of it. Like, you just notice it. You see? That's a real powerful neutral position to be in. Okay. Since I've definitely drained my energy, I believe I have. Yes. I've always wanted to try the gas meditation. Yes. All right. BB, I don't understand why you haven't submitted your application for Arrogant Witch. I don't understand that. You're here pretty regularly. You're clearly powerful. What's the delay about? And you don't have to answer it right here in the comments. You can answer it privately to yourself, or if you want to send me an email, you can. Yeah, so that's the conversation I have. Let them act on it. The only reason why you would be in any kind of fear that will control your behavior is if you're not in full power. See what I mean? Like, full power handles everything. Everything. Like, you can deal with somebody in front of you with a gun wanting to spit on you or spitting on you. You can deal with somebody wanting to own you. You can, like, when you're in full power, you govern all energy of yourself. And that allows you to psychically influence other people's energy, the ones who you want to influence. You see what I mean? Like, the sheer fact that you are concerned with them acting on possessing you is giving them power. You see how we leak power? If you sit in contemplation about, what if he acts on his possessiveness and comes after me, tries to rape me, tries to control me? You are psychically giving him power to do that. You see why I say this is hard, and this is not for the average Black woman who just wants to feel confident and like all the new age. I want to feel confident. I want to, the kind of power that I'm talking about, most women don't actually want, but because it requires tremendous self-responsibility. It requires tremendous standards. Like, in the standards that I'm talking about, nothing and no one has any power over you. Nothing and no one. To actually live that is incredibly liberating. And at the same time, it's going to be offensive to some people. You're going to be an arrogant bitch on wheels. You know how many times people have called me arrogant? That's why the show is called Arrogant Witch. That's why the community is called Arrogant Witch. Because when you start coming into full power, first of all, as a woman, then as a Black woman, Bitch, the fuck do you think you are? Arrogant, arrogant, arrogant. Oh, you arrogant, bitch, you uppity, bitch, your black ass. All of it. All of it. And when you have the skill of sending everything through your pussy, everything. You know, your pussy is not only for making babies and for dicks, right? That's all nice, but your pussy is multi-dimensional with different functions and different ways to conjure power. Yeah, they ain't putting that in the history book either. Ooh, bitch, I'm telling you. All right. So how do you 38 minutes in? How do you successfully navigate the fear of being killed? Ooh. All right. So how do you? So you can do this all by yourself, but I'm getting ready to share with you. All right. This is a good beginning. Right. If you're looking to actually become the embodiment of this, it's going to require community, okay? Yes, please like the video. Thank you. Please like the video. Can I be killed? This is what you ask yourself. Can I be killed? Yeah, I can be killed. Is it likely I will be killed? No, it's not likely you will be killed. When I'm in full power, does that give me dominion over all things? Why, yes, it does. It gives me dominion over all things that I decide I will have dominion over. That is necessary for me to have dominion over. Okay. And then you also, as I said in the 5-page report of the 5 bad yet effective ways to be in commanding bigger money, I think it was number 4, I said, face death, like face the reality of getting killed, all right? So in February, I started doing death rituals. February, I was here in Medellin, but I was only visiting, right? The plan was to be here for 3 weeks, and I decided to come back. So I left and came back. But anyway, I was here, and I was in this place of preparing myself to come out in the way that I am now. And that whole fear of being killed thing was there again. It's always there, right? But the way I deal with it now is different. Okay, so the whole fear of being killed, the fear for even a man to be intimate with me. Okay, and what man has the power? Okay, the true power, not like masculine, fear-based, egoic power, but the actual power to be with me. A walking master who knows who she is and is here to do very distinct work in the world. And like, so the whole human part of that, of being with a man, not being with a man, growing old, alone, and I let myself go all the way there. I remember one night, it's a few nights actually, where I just let myself go all the way there. And this one particular night, it turned into a death ritual. It wasn't even my intent. I was just being mental about it. And then I decided to go into ritual about it. And literally, I went into, I just completed the whole process of me as I was on that evening, living further into the fullness of myself in this work, and then seeing myself fully, okay? Wow. And then later, like going all the way into the future, and the feeling, like the feelings of living this work, okay, and being 90, right, and what it would feel like to have lived this fully, and to be in, for whatever reason, I constantly am seeing me in a house, a beautiful house in an Italian village with huge windows, and I can like see out into this vast like trees, a valley of trees. And I let my heart hurt. I let my heart hurt, and I let it hurt hard. I let it hurt really, really hard. And I let myself die. Like I took myself through dying. And my heart started beating really fast. And then I had to get up because I felt like I was literally dying. And so I went to the bathroom, and then I laid back down, and then I completed the process, and I came up out of it, and I was just like, wow. Wow. This theme of fear of being killed, and the way it feels on a body level, which for me, it feels like atrophy in the body. It feels like, it feels paralyzing, okay? Sometimes I could feel like literally like a constriction right up in here. Like blocking talking, blocking, allowing the fullness of a thing to come out of my mouth, right? And so when I started on this mental process, which turned into a ritual, and I ended up doing it several times, so this was like an accidental ritual, it dissolved in a whole new way this fear of being killed, this fear of death. And it was after doing that a few times that I felt so much ready to come clean, come out clean. This is another reason why I say this is very fine work. This is not just spiritual work. This is very fine work. Like who would care about such a thing? Who would care about taking oneself through death to end the fear of death? Like who would like truly care about, truly pay money to be in an environment to engage in these fine practices? Who is at that level of commitment? Who is at that level of readiness? Who is at that level of self-awareness? Right? Like, so that's what this is, fine work. This is very fine work. So when I say things like going through hell to end hell, and I say performing a death ritual to end your fear of death, this is why. So you are free of the psychic burdens. Oh my God. So then what this also does in helping you to navigate the fear of being killed is that anything that anybody can attempt to throw at you psychically, oh my God. Somebody sitting and thinking something, sending it your way, somebody showing up to your email inbox, because we're all casting spells all the time, whether we admit it or know it, or, you know what I mean? Somebody shows up in your email inbox with some kind of email that, because Listen, so many of us are so governed by our shadows and we don't even know it. So somebody might enjoy, especially if somebody's watching you, and these are the things that we know unconsciously, whether we, we know unconsciously, right? You are on video, right? You are coming into power. One of your ways of coming into power is practicing speaking your signature intelligence out of your mouth on video. Like that's one of the things that we'll be doing inside of Arrogant Witch, right? And people start watching you. A few people, but they're watching you, right? And somebody can intuitively sense something that you're scared of. They can sense something that you're withholding. They can sense something that's tender for you. They can sense it, right? Because you're powerful, so you're magnetizing other powerful people. But if a person is not in admission and ownership of their power, what they do is they wield it in sly ways. They throw it out there in sly, slick, backhanded kind of a ways, and they don't even realize it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right? So this is what it looks like when somebody is not in power. They just do sly, slick shit, right? So they sense that in you, watching you on video, reading your post on wherever you're posting, on social media, email, whatnot. And they decide to send a spell your way by sending you an email that hits a trigger in you. Right? And because you haven't claimed that part of you, you haven't owned that part of you, it's still triggerable. It's still triggerable. That's why I say, baby, you want to come in full power where you can handle all daggers, or just all of it. When you get to the point where you're like, oh, girl, look what she doing. Look what he doing. Look. So then you start playing with it versus being triggered by it. Or you could just be like, I don't like this spell she's casting. This is boring. And it's like, delete. Where's the next one? Like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't like the way he played. Oh, no. Or he obviously cannot see well, because if he saw correctly, he wouldn't even be casting that spell. And you're like, gosh. And you're like, because everybody, we're all telling on ourselves all the time. The way we communicate with each other, we're telling who we are, all of it. The point I'm making here is, when you navigate these hells that we will navigate together inside of Arrogant Witch, when you confront all of these domains, that psychic, right, those that are in the conscious, when you start to come into deliberately engaging with them without judgment, without needing to, make yourself bad or wrong or fear, right? In community. I gotta go soon. In community. You can handle, and you're glad to handle, anything that comes your way. Now, I'm saying this with great ease, but this takes practice. This takes practice. We are very intelligent spiritually. Excuse me. We're very spiritually intelligent. We know. People know. Whether they admit it or not, they know. Most people don't admit, because it's a huge responsibility to be in full power. So I gotta go within the next 10 minutes or so. You successfully navigate the fear of being killed by interfacing with death. So in the form of the death ritual that I just described here, like, oh my God, that is amazing. A disclaimer, I am not responsible for any results that come in your reality as a result of you engaging in this death ritual. Okay? If you are not used to performing rituals, if you are not used to embodiment practices that trigger all of your, your multiple selves, your physical self, your psychic self, your sexual self, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you should start with something else that's, lighter. Okay. But you navigate it by confronting it. That's the short answer, right? You can go back and watch this video. You engage in the question, can I be killed? Answer it. Honestly, is it likely that I'll be killed, right? Is being killed the worst thing that can happen? Like, really is being killed the worst thing that can happen? That's an answer. That's something for you to answer. I don't give you. Is what I'm doing worth my life? Is what I'm doing worth my life? A lot of people who have kids, no, they don't feel like, right? Who are, you know, is the work that's in your DNA, that work that is demanding to come out of you, that is destroying you because you're not letting it out, is it worth your life? Oh, what a self-fulfilling prophecy. I've missed so many of y'all comments. Give me a minute, I'm reading. I see you, organic. Yeah, death work is very powerful. I'm very drawn to people who do death work, like for a living. And not just like, because I know people who do it like in hospice for old people, which I can definitely see the value in that for people who are like at death's door because of age, old age. And to engage in it on this level, yeah, I dig it. It's extremely powerful, extremely powerful. So could you guys share this video? Like I want more people to see it, more of the right people to see it. Please like this video if you found value. You're setting yourself up for goodness by adding to such a thing. Doors close for the Arrogant Witch community at midnight Eastern tonight. So your application and payment must be submitted before then. There will be a link beneath this video. If you're on the email list, just go click the link in the email that went out this morning and complete your payment and your application. If you're not already on the email list, you can click the link that will be beneath this video within the next hour. Come on to the email list. Actually, you should email me at this point because of the deadline. You should email me, and my email will be beneath this video within an hour. And then I'll later on today I'll send it to you. I have a private training in about 30 minutes. Yeah, about 30 minutes. So I'll be busy with that for I don't know. But in closing, what I'd like for you to do to practice navigating the fear of being killed on your path as a magical melanin witch who's coming into full power is to go interface with death tonight and ask yourself these questions that I've listed here today. And because anything that you run from will keep chasing your ass. And when you interface that which you fear, it ceases to have power over you. That's my word. Lots of love. See you next Monday, same time.